Have you ever noticed how something as simple as standing up from a chair or climbing the stairs feels just a little harder than it used to? Maybe it creeps in slowly. One day you're walking your usual route through the neighborhood, and the next you're wondering why your legs feel so tired so quickly. You haven't had an accident, you haven't stopped moving completely, but there's this quiet nagging sense that your body is changing. And you're right, it is. But here's the thing, aging isn't the enemy, neglect is. And there's one common food, something almost all of us have sitting in our kitchen right now, that could be the very thing that helps you stay strong, mobile, and independent. That food? Eggs. But before you crack one open, I need to tell you something important. It's not just about eating eggs, it's about eating them the right way. Because if you're over 60 and you're still eating eggs the way you always have, or worse, you've stopped eating them out of fear or confusion, your leg muscles may already be silently wasting away, and you wouldn't even feel it until it's too late. Now, I don't say that to scare you. I say it because I care. You see, I've seen this happen more times than I can count. Strong, capable people slowly become more fragile, not because they're lazy, not because they don't care, but because no one ever told them what was really going on. No one explained that after 60, your muscles start changing. Your body becomes less efficient at holding on to strength, and unless you feed it what it needs, consistently and correctly, it starts to let go, one muscle fiber at a time. But let me tell you a story. There's a woman named Evelyn, 72 years old, retired teacher, grandmother of 4. She loved walking every morning. She had her daily routine, and she'd always been active. But then she started feeling shaky getting out of bed. Her knees buckled once as she stepped off a curb. She brushed it off, told herself it was just a fluke. But it wasn't. Her doctor later explained she had sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, and it had been progressing silently for years. Do you know the first thing they asked her about? Her diet. Not her weight, not even her exercise, her protein, and specifically, how many eggs she was eating, and how she was eating them. Now, let me ask you something personal. How are you eating your eggs these days? Scrambled with butter? Fried in oil? Maybe you've cut them out altogether, because someone somewhere said they were bad for cholesterol? Or maybe you just don't think they matter. Well, today we're going to clear all of that up. I'm going to show you exactly why eggs are one of the best foods you can eat after 60, especially for your leg muscles, and the mistakes that make them less effective. We'll talk about how to cook them, how often to eat them, what to eat with them, and what to avoid doing if you want strong legs, better balance, and the freedom to move through life on your own terms. And no, this isn't about becoming a bodybuilder. This is about staying you, the strong, vibrant, capable version of you, the one who dances at family parties, travels without fear of falls, and wakes up feeling ready for the day ahead. I'll also give you a few simple habits you can start today, even if you're not feeling your best, even if your energy is low, or you've already lost some strength, because you are not too old, you are not too far gone, and I'll prove it to you, one egg at a time. Before we dive in, let me ask you this. When was the last time you really thought about how food affects your strength? Not just your weight, but your strength. Have you ever wondered whether you're getting enough of the right nutrients to protect your muscles? Let's talk about that today. And if this message is already resonating with you, if you're someone who believes that aging can be graceful, powerful, and joyful, go ahead and tap that subscribe button. You're watching Everyday Ageless, and around here we don't give up on our health. We lean in, we learn, and we keep growing together. All right, let's get started. Let's talk about what happens to your muscles after 60, and why eggs just might be your secret weapon. So let's really talk about what's going on behind the scenes, not just what you feel, but what's actually happening inside your body after 60. See, your leg muscles are some of the biggest and most important muscles in your body. They're not just there to help you walk. They support your hips, protect your bones, stabilize your joints, and keep your posture upright. They're the foundation of your independence. And yet, starting as early as your 40s and 50s, your body naturally starts to lose muscle mass. It's slow, it's silent, and it's incredibly common. In fact, if you're not actively protecting your muscles, You could be losing up to 1–2% of your muscle mass every single year after 50. Let that sink in for a moment. Now I want you to picture this. Imagine someone you love, maybe your mom, your dad, or even your future self, sitting on the edge of a bed, struggling to swing their legs around and stand up. Not because they're ill, not because they're weak-willed, but because their muscles were slowly fading away, meal by meal, year by year, without anyone noticing. It doesn't have to be this way. One of the biggest factors here is something most people overlook: protein intake. As you get older, your body becomes less efficient at using the protein you eat to rebuild and maintain muscle. You could be eating the same amount you did in your 30s and 40s, but it's no longer enough. Your muscles need more support now, more of the right kind of fuel, and more consistently. Now here's the good news. You don't need shakes or powders or expensive meal plans. You don't need to count every gram or weigh your food. You just need to be intentional. And that's where eggs come in. Let me tell you about Walter, a 68-year-old retired firefighter who loved his morning routine. For years he started his day with coffee and toast, sometimes peanut butter, sometimes just butter and jam. He figured he was eating light, keeping his heart healthy. But after a couple of years, he noticed his legs didn't carry him quite like they used to. Getting up from low chairs, tricky. Bending to tie his shoes, harder than expected. And walking up hills during his morning stroll, forget it. He had to pause every few minutes. His doctor checked his heart, his lungs, everything was fine. But when a dietitian asked him about his protein, he paused. "I guess I don't really think about protein much," he admitted. That small realization changed everything. With just a few changes, like adding 2 whole eggs to his breakfast, along with some sautéed greens and a slice of whole grain toast, Walter started feeling stronger within weeks. And no, it wasn't just the eggs alone, but they were a powerful start. Because eggs don't just contain protein, they contain the exact kind of protein your muscles recognize and use best. Every whole egg is packed with all the essential amino acids, especially leucine, which plays a key role in turning on your body's muscle-building switch. That's right, your muscles actually have a trigger, and leucine helps pull it. But here's the catch. Your body can't store protein like it does fat or carbs, so just eating a high-protein dinner isn't enough. You need to space it out, especially in the morning, when your muscles have been fasting all night long. And yet many older adults start their day with a piece of toast, maybe some fruit, and a little coffee. No protein, no muscle fuel, and when that becomes the norm, your body starts breaking down more than it builds. So let me gently challenge you. What does your breakfast look like right now? Are you giving your muscles what they need to carry you, support you, and keep you moving with confidence? Imagine switching out that slice of white bread for a protein-packed egg or two. Add some sautéed spinach, a few slices of avocado, maybe even a sprinkle of herbs and black pepper. It's not just nourishing, it's delicious, and it's empowering. And I know, there are so many confusing messages out there. Some say eggs are bad for your heart. Some say to skip the yolk. Others say eat as many as you want. It's hard to know what's true anymore. That's why we're doing this, not to overwhelm you with science or tell you what you must do, but to remind you that small, consistent choices still matter. That breakfast you're going to make tomorrow morning, it's a moment of power, a vote for strength, a reminder to your body that you still care, and that you still have so much living to do. In a moment, we'll talk more about how to prepare your eggs to get the most benefit, and what to pair them with, so your body absorbs every bit of goodness. But before that, I just want you to sit with this thought. You are not powerless in the aging process. Your body is still listening, your muscles are still responding, and your breakfast, as simple as it may be, can be a turning point. Let's get into something really practical now. How you prepare your eggs can either nourish your body or quietly work against you. It sounds dramatic, I know, but when it comes to aging well, the details matter. You're not 25 anymore, and that's not a bad thing. It just means your body processes things differently, including how it responds to fat, heat, and nutrients. Now I want you to picture this. 2 people, both in their early 70s, both eat 2 eggs every morning. One fries them in margarine with salty bacon and white toast. The other lightly scrambles them in olive oil with chopped tomatoes and spinach. Same food? On the surface, yes. But in reality, the outcomes couldn't be more different. That's the difference between just eating and eating with intention. You see, when you fry eggs in high heat with processed oils or saturated fats, you're doing more than adding calories. You're introducing inflammation. That kind of inflammation doesn't always show up as pain right away. It can show up as stiffness, fatigue, or that general sense of slowing down. Over time, chronic inflammation wears down your joints, your blood vessels, and yes, even your muscles. But when you gently scramble or poach your eggs, when you cook them in anti-inflammatory oils like olive oil, and when you pair them with fiber-rich veggies and nutrient-dense sides, your body thanks you, your muscles thank you. You're not just feeding hunger, you're feeding function. Here's something else most people miss: the yolk. For years you were probably told to skip it, toss it, go for egg whites only. But the truth is, the yolk is where the magic lives. That golden center is packed with choline, a nutrient your brain loves and your muscles need. It also contains vitamin D, which helps your body use calcium properly, and healthy fats that keep your hormones balanced. These are things your body craves more and more with each passing year. So unless your doctor has specifically told you to avoid the yolk, I want you to eat the whole egg. Not 5 or 6 a day, of course. Moderation still matters. But 1 or 2 whole eggs, that's strength in a shell. Let's get practical for a moment. If you're trying to boost muscle strength, especially in your legs, here are 3 simple egg-focused meals to try. Option 1. Scramble 2 eggs with chopped spinach, onions, and tomatoes. Add a slice of whole grain bread and half an avocado. That's a power breakfast. Option 2. Boil 2 eggs the night before, then slice them over a bed of leafy greens with a splash of olive oil and lemon. Add a sprinkle of seeds for crunch. You've just built a lunch your muscles will love. Option 3. Make a veggie-packed frittata. Use eggs, peppers, onions, mushrooms, whatever you like, and bake it ahead for easy reheating. You get protein, fiber, and antioxidants in one bite. And I know what you might be thinking. That sounds good, but I don't have the energy to cook every day. I hear you. But this doesn't have to be complicated. A little batch prep once or twice a week goes a long way. And if chopping veggies is hard on your hands or back, go for pre-cut options. Use frozen spinach. Choose simplicity over perfection. This is about building strength, not stress. There's one more thing I want to add here, and it's important. If you're skipping breakfast altogether, maybe just sipping coffee until lunch, that could be working against your muscle health. Overnight, your body has been in a fasted state. Your muscles are waiting for fuel, and if you don't give them what they need in the morning, they start to break down little by little. It's called muscle catabolism, and it happens quietly, over months and years. You may not feel it at first, but it shows up later, in how steady you feel when walking, in how easily you rise from a chair, in whether you can catch yourself when you trip. It's all connected. So tomorrow morning, instead of just coffee and carbs, try giving your muscles what they're asking for. A couple of eggs, a side of greens, maybe some whole grains or fruit for balance. It doesn't need to be fancy. It just needs to be intentional. The way you prepare and enjoy your eggs isn't about being trendy or perfect. It's about fueling the next decade of your life with strength, confidence, and energy, one meal at a time. Stay with me, because there's something else we need to talk about: the habits that silently sabotage your muscle strength, even if you're eating well. That's coming up shortly. Now that we've covered how to eat eggs with intention, you might be thinking, all right, I've got the nutrition part down. I'm cooking better. I'm eating the yolks. I'm adding veggies. I'm doing it. That's wonderful. But there's something else that can either multiply all those benefits or slowly cancel them out. It's what you do with the rest of your day. Your daily habits, even the tiniest ones, are either nourishing your strength or quietly pulling it away. Let me paint a picture. Picture someone who eats a beautiful protein-rich breakfast, maybe a spinach and egg scramble with some avocado on the side. They're doing everything right at the table, but after breakfast, they settle into their recliner, watch the news, sit at the computer, then move to the sofa. The day comes and goes, and they've barely moved their legs. See, muscles don't just need nutrients. They need a reason to stay strong. they need use. Without movement, your muscles literally stop listening to the nutrition you're giving them. It's like trying to water a garden that hasn't been planted. On the other hand, even small, low-impact movement can send a powerful message to your body. A message that says, I still need these muscles. Keep them strong. This doesn't mean joining a gym or pushing through pain. It means adding just a few intentional movements each day that involve your legs. A walk around the block, a set of slow squats holding onto the back of a chair, marching in place during commercials, even standing while folding laundry instead of sitting. Movement doesn't have to be intense to be effective. It just has to be regular. Now let's talk about something else that tends to sneak up, especially after 60. The myth of saving energy by doing less. You may have heard it or even said it yourself. I'm just going to take it easy today. I'm not going to push myself. That's okay once in a while, but when it becomes the norm, it can turn into a trap. The less you move, the more energy your body loses. The more you sit, the weaker your circulation gets. You don't just lose physical strength, you lose confidence. You start to question your balance, and that fear leads to more sitting, more hesitating, more holding back. Let me tell you about George, a viewer who reached out to the channel not long ago. He's 74, lives alone, and for years avoided going outside. He said he was afraid of falling, afraid of tripping, afraid of getting stuck. He told himself it was safer to stay inside. But staying inside made him feel more tired, weaker. He lost strength in his legs and his back, and his mood suffered too. But then he started something simple, just 5 minutes of leg movements each morning. Stretches, light bodyweight squats, and walking up and down his hallway. He paired that with 2 eggs and some greens every morning. Within 3 weeks, he felt steadier. After 2 months, he was walking to the park again. Slowly, yes, but confidently. Not because of some miracle product, just because of consistency and patience. You don't have to do everything at once. Start where you are. Start with what you can do today. And let's not forget something else that matters. Hydration. Muscles don't just need protein, they need water to stay flexible and function well. If you're not drinking enough, your muscles can cramp more easily, your joints can feel stiff, and your energy dips. Try aiming for 6 to 8 cups a day, even more if it's hot out or you're moving more. And sleep. Yes, sleep. You rebuild muscle during rest. Without enough deep sleep, your body has a hard time repairing and growing. A healthy breakfast, gentle movement, staying hydrated, all of these support better sleep, which then supports better strength. It all connects. Now, before we move into something a little deeper, I want to leave you with this reflection. Your strength is not just about food. It's not just about fitness. It's about the story you tell yourself each morning when you wake up. Are you telling yourself it's too late, that you're too old, or are you gently reminding yourself that your body still wants to work with you? You don't have to be perfect. You just have to stay engaged. In just a moment, I want to speak directly to your heart, not your muscles, and share something many of us don't talk about enough, the emotional side of aging, and how taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's essential. Let's pause for a moment, not to think about protein, or recipes, or even movement, but to think about what all of this really means, because if we're honest, this journey isn't just about eating eggs a better way. It's about what that represents. It's about your sense of control, the feeling that your health is still yours to shape. It's about your identity, being more than someone who's just getting older. And it's about dignity, the ability to take care of yourself, to move through the world with confidence, without always needing help. I know it can be discouraging. Maybe you've had a fall. Maybe your doctor gave you a diagnosis that rattled you. Maybe you've watched someone you love, a parent, a spouse, lose their mobility. And now you're quietly wondering, is that going to be me too? That fear is real, and it's okay to feel it, but it doesn't have to define your future. You are not powerless here. You still have time. You still have choices. You still have this moment, right here, right now, to say, I may be aging, but I am not done. My body still matters. My energy still matters. My future still matters. You don't need to turn your life upside down. You don't need to become a fitness guru or count every calorie. You just need to start showing up, one small meaningful habit at a time. You've already made one powerful choice just by being here, by listening, by learning,
by caring enough to seek out the truth. That's no small thing. That's a sign of strength. And if you're watching this not for yourself but for someone you love, maybe a parent, maybe a partner, I want you to know they're lucky to have you. Because supporting someone through aging, encouraging them gently to eat better, move more, care for themselves, that's love in action. And it matters more than you think.
So here's what I hope you take away from all this. Muscle loss is not inevitable. You are not too old to build strength, and something as small as how you eat your eggs can be the first step toward reclaiming your vitality. I know it can feel overwhelming, but you're not in this alone. Thousands of people around the world are waking up to the same questions you have. They're learning how to care for themselves in a new chapter of life. They're discovering that aging doesn't have to mean decline. It can mean transformation, a wiser, steadier kind of strength. That's what we're building here at Everyday Ageless, a community of people who want to live with energy, with purpose, and with joy, no matter how many candles are on the cake. Let's take the pressure off perfection. Let's focus on consistency, compassion, and small wins that add up over time. And let me be the first to tell you, I'm proud of you for showing up today. Really proud. Now, before we wrap up, I'd love to leave you with a few reminders and something to reflect on, something that might just spark the next conversation in your home or in the comments below.